Guys, guys, we are live.
We're not live yet.
Yes, we are, actually.
Recording in progress.
I heard that.
All right, guys.
There we go.
Now we're live, John. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Jarl's Coffee Chat on this discussion. We're right now getting started on Monday, March 6, 2023, with the Jaws Christ Talk that we do each Monday, except for times that school's out, with the exception of the summer. And in this, we're going to bring you two guest speakers this session. And so we have myself, Jennifer A. Whitaker, the host, as well as our regular co-host, John Tarr. And now we're introducing two guest speakers who you may hear frequently. They're potentially going to be leading one episode a month here on the John Christ Talk. So let's hit it up to first, Mr. Rand. Will you introduce yourself, what you do, what organization you're with, and what role you want to play in this?
Sure. I'm Randy Williams. I'm from Appalachia, Tennessee specifically, and moved to Phoenix about 10 years ago, and reside here now probably permanently. I work part-time at Mount Clark Community Church, and my main interest in ministry is with an organization called Men's Hope, and it's based on a 12-step model, but it's not addiction specific. So we have men that come in who are maybe going through divorces or lost a child to suicide. Just almost anything is applicable. The material is modeled on 12-step, but Christ is the center of the program and the higher power. And I've been involved with that for 10 years. It's been very fruitful. We've had over 300 guys go through this program since I've been there. It's been very interesting. And I've known John for probably 7 years now. And his family, we've done a lot of activities together. He's helped me cook. I also cook for the church. He's helped me do that. I'm very, from my perspective, I think that God brought me to Arizona specifically to this church and this program because I needed something other than a secular 12-step program, and something that was more applicable not only to addiction but mental illness. So that's why I like the materials so much. It's a good deep dive into that's my story, and thank you for inviting me on today.
Thank you. And before we get too deep in the conversation, Mr. Allen, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good job. So from time to time, maybe my internet not very stable. Hopefully.
My sound has gone off again, guys.
Oh, okay. Can you? If you cannot hear me, just
So fine, Mr. Allen. Keep going.
okay. Yeah. So my name is Alan Pai. I originally from Hong Kong, and I come to US more than 40 years ago to pursue my study in science, particularly in physics, because I'm very interested to find out what all these in this world, what's behind, what's the reason why there's so many things, and physics is tell me a lot about cause and effect, and and I'm very interested in mathematics, and physics is also help me to understand how this world is operate in terms of different like objects or the sun, the moon. All this is fascinating. So I come to US, then to Ohio first to finish my undergrad in Kansas U, and then went to school in Boston College for my graduate studies. And I landed a job in medical ultrasound for almost 30 years before I take an early retirement so that I can focus passion with science and faith because I find from the Bible, the more I understand, the more I study the Bible, the better I know about God and how through Christ that can reconcile and give a wisdom to people to find out the truth and live a meaningful life. So I met John about a few years ago after I published the book, and I joined the RTP Reason to Believe Phoenix Chapter, and John is very nice and helped me. Actually, he did a some kind of book report after he read my book, and then put in his website, and then we connected, and then I found out he can help me to improve the website. I learned how to put in a website, but it's very basic. So John is the guru, web master, and so he helped me to dress up my website, my personal website, basically share science and faith, and also if anyone interested to read and maybe I want to share science and faith is in harmony. They are not conflict, and it's because I go in Eastern religion, and for some reason there's so much things going on, even my family, that I have a question, cannot answer my question. But when I read the Bible, the thing is much more in terms of harmony with the question I asked and also with science. So that's something is very wonderful to share with anyone who are interested. So just
yeah, let me jump in here real quick. Like Alan said, I met him at Reasons to Believe, RTV, and it's a science group with a lot of people that kind of brainiacs that know a lot about science, but they also are Christian. And I found it very interesting from Alan's perspective of God, because you don't see a lot of scientists really talking about. And RTB has a number of main scientists that's in the main group that's located in California, but Alan and I go to the local one here in Phoenix, Arizona, or actually Tempe near the ASU. And so we've had a lot of deep conversations here. Alan has written a book called A Physicist's Perspective on God, Roadmaps to Wisdom Through Science and Life. I'm going to ask Alan a couple of questions here about his book, and then I'm going to defer back over to Randy in a little while here. Alan, what made you write this book? What was the reason for writing this book? And by the way, the book can be found on Amazon. So we'll do a link to it.
But for listeners, what is Alan's last name so they can look it up?
Oh yeah, last Pai, T-A-I, T for Thomas, and A for Apple, I for ice cream, and John, or I can send my personal website. Within my personal website, John already helped me to put in a link to the Amazon, so I can send out my link to the chat later, or John
Yes,
can do that.
yes, please, at some point, read what's your website, www dot, etc.
Well, right now, actually HTTPS is better, right? John had told me that there's a more security instead of www. Yeah.
Over in the chat room, I put the Amazon link to the book. And then as Alan's talking here, I'm going to put a link to his website also.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, so good question for John. Why me to write this book? Actually, 1991, I come to US to study, and at that point, I just want to focus on science, nothing to do with religion, because of my background. I went to Buddhist school, related. Elementary school, and also Catholic school, and also in high school, I somehow went to Muslim school. So I get confused. So I thought religion is just want to make people become good, don't do bad things. So if I can focus on science and behave and be a good person, that should be enough for me. I don't want nothing to do with religion. So because I want the truth. But when I visit my cousin in Toronto, and he become a Christian, so I spent some time with him while I'm visiting him in Toronto from Ohio, and I get a chance to visit his church meeting and also read the Bible, the New Testament. So I read what Jesus shared about his life and teaching, and I was very impressed. But it's not just a theory. After I returned back to Ohio, and at first I still want to focus on study later. The more I study the Bible, the more appealing and something attract me. And I remember vividly, even today, that one day I was reading the Bible, and all of a sudden God speak to me in my heart. It's not audible, but I know in my heart very clear that God revealed to me there's a truth, there's a wisdom that and harmony between science and the Bible. So I quickly pray and get a very motivate that my focus in life is to share with others about this truth. So fast forward to after I have a family, God blessed me with the career in ultrasound at the right time. I think while I still able to do something for God, so I retired early to focus full time, half year to write the book that I have learned over the years about science and basically science and faith to share with others. And writing books is not simple, there's a lot to learn. And then even I finished writing and another half year to publish and correct the grammar error and all kind of things. It takes 1 year almost after I retired to publish the book. So basically, the book introduced the focus. The main theme is the wisdom. I want to make it a simple roadmap. Just like when I was working in the commercial medical ultrasound company, every year they have all the technology leaders gather together, and the business leader. They need to have a good vision what their planning will be. So I learned from that, and then I found using some kind of roadmap to help people to understand the action, the most important part of the Bible. What is it? How it relates with us? What's the relation between God and man in different stages? So, besides share some scientific facts, I also show the roadmap. That people can pick up and understand there's so much wisdom behind the Bible and the revelation and the inspiration to everyone that's open and willing to study the Bible, and he will experience God just like what I have. Because recently I'm teaching a Sunday school, but it's resonant over the years in my heart that the Hebrew 1 saying that just a few words I read really quick. In the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets at many times and in various ways. This is before Jesus Christ come. God used different ways to speak. But in this last, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, and through whom all he made the universe. Now, God, someone may ask you, if God spoke to me, I will believe. But actually, God already has spoken to us by his Son. And it's already there, just like the radio wave. If you don't see it, and if you don't receive it, you thought it's not there, but actually it's everywhere. If you find the white channel with the white, in terms of analogy, white device, but human have human spirit. If we can open our heart, open this spirit, we can hear what God spoke to us by his Son, because he's the creator. He makes the universe through his Son. The Son is the radiance of God's glory, and the exact representation of his being, sustaining all things by his powerful word. Wow, this word is just amazing to me, because the science and the physics law behind it. Sometimes you will ask, why so amazing? The Earth is rotating the sun, and then the moon rotating the Earth, and all this in the correct motion. So because like in Hebrew saying that by his powerful word, his word more than the physics law, he is able to sustain all things to this operation in this world. But most important, he wants to talk to us, communicate with us. He's waiting for everyone to receive what he said, and then also we can establish the channel with communication. So that's just a quick introduction of the motivation to share why I write this book, and hopefully feel free to ask me questions.
Alan, I'm going to jump in here real quick. His book, there's a couple things here, and don't start talking about one specific thing quite yet. On the website, we put on there a roadmap to wisdom through science and life. You ask a couple of main questions that has been asked by mankind since time immortal, because mankind has always been trying to find out about God. Who is he? And you ask the question, who is God? How do I gain wisdom? How do I know if God exists? And can I communicate with him? Some of your chapters on here are very interesting too. And give me a second to get in here. You have a chapter in here on unseen things, another one on law and physics, universal order. In the beginning, the vastness of the universe, uniqueness of the earth and humans, love and light, spiritual wisdom, the Bible, Jesus Christ, and the combined roadmap, and the triune God in you. So some of these I actually gravitated to right off the bat because they were very, like in the beginning, in the vastness of the universe. That is something that we have talked about on our RTD, Reasons to Believe. And I really enjoyed your perspective on some of these things throughout the chapters on the book. And it was just very interesting to hear a scientist's view on these things. And I realized that it was not too far off on my own, even though I wasn't a scientist and I do a lot of writing for an apologetic group. But it was really interesting, and it's always been interesting to hear your take when we get on our TV group, to hear your perspective. So what is one of these things? Well, let me ask you probably, who is God? Who is God?
Very good question. I mean, throughout human civilization, different history, different ethnic group, they want to find out and connected to God. But human effort try to find is limited until God revealed himself first through the one, but most important, he revealed himself through his son Jesus Christ. So when we communicate and know more about Jesus, through him we understand God. That's my experience. I mean, otherwise God, everyone have a concept about God. I mean, there's the I went to Buddhist school, and there's all kind of different branches of Buddhism. Some philosophy, they don't believe in God, but some modify, and then the Buddha as some kind of look like a divine person, try to worship, and so, but all this is a philosophy, because if you ask them where's the golden standard or where's the book that really tell me clearly that who is God, but there are all kinds so many books. I don't know which one is correct.
Yeah, I'm going to tell people to go get your book and they'll read the chapter on that. Here's the second question for you, Alan. How do we know that God exists?
Yep.
Real quick.
Good question.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
John, do you know how to put a banner up and you can write his website on the screen?
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I can do that. Next time we get him up, I'll have a banner for him and Randy, but mostly for Alan, that will connect to his website and how to connect with him and how to find his book. That's a good idea. I will do that.
You can click on it right now and just type it, whatever's his domain, so people can see it while he's answering your question. Go ahead. Back to you, Mr. Allen.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So, good question again. I think if you heard about evolution, that is the more than 100 years that is falling out, and then try to tell people where we come from, right? So there's only two final source that where all this wonderful world come from, and where this as a human being come from. I mean, one is God created, the other is the evolution. Some of them say that God, there's no God, and everything come from random. Just for some reason, there is the randomness and quantum fluctuation. The latest theories, and somehow after so many years, they just happen to be, that's the expansion, Big Bang. So scientific, they cannot prove it. And then things just expansion, and then it happened to be by chance that there is a galaxy, and then within the galaxy there's a solar system just at the right time, and then all this is too much accidentally happen. I mean, that the chance is almost zero.
You're talking about the Big Bang there, aren't you?
Yeah, not only that, I'm talking about after the Big Bang, things that become like different galaxy, and within this galaxy we have a solar system, and then the Earth. So
and then what you're hitting is something, Mr. Allen, what you're hitting is something I talk about too, which is, like you said, it couldn't just all happen in the right timing, just by coincidence.
The way I say is, if someone even wants to think about believing in the Big Bang, who created the particles? Where'd that come from?
Right.
So even if they said that along the line of, they have to admit that the particles did not just appear there, that, got together in this formation you're talking about, that created a catastrophe that eventually caused the Big Bang and all that. Like, it still goes back to how did it get there, even if that was how we got there, right? So it goes to your point of conveying that there's still a higher being that created the beginning of it.
Right. It's called the cosmological singularity, the Big Bang, and the universe started about 13.8 billion years ago. But the question that you have to ask, if you believe in the Big Bang, and most scientists and astronomers believe that today, well, the question you got to ask, because the universe started at one specific point in time, who pulled the trigger? Okay, what was there before the universe started? And as it began to move out, and that's a big question. I know that that's a very hard question for scientists to answer today, because it is, what was there before the universe started, time and space began and started. So what creative being could have started this? And when you look at the size, the absolute immense size of the universe, especially all the things that they have learned in the last 50 years, trillions upon trillions of not only stars, but also Milky Way, which we live in, but there's so many other things out there. But how did all that just kick in? It couldn't have kicked in all by itself. So could you say something about that, the absolute immense size of the universe, and how it all got started for Alan?
yeah, that's right. So just like you say, the book, I have a chapter talk about the wildest of this universe, and then the uniqueness of this Earth, because there's no way that it happened by chance. And when the latest theory, they understand the chance is so low. So someone suggests, because of the string theory, that there is the possibility of multiverse, but in reality, it cannot be proven. But it depends on out to that behind this universe, maybe there's something is even in different dimension that already out there, but we cannot prove. But somehow, God is above all, just like the Bible says in John 3, that He come through Jesus. I mean, there's only one God, but He's triune. That means the Father, Son, and Spirit, and they are equal in extent. and they are coexist. But there's only one God. They have different focus in work. God the Father is the source and the designer, and God the Son is the one to come into this direct interaction into this existing time and space, so that we can, through Him, we have a connection with Jesus. But now through the Spirit, which is directly interface with our heart, our spirit. So this is amazing. So all this is not happen by chance, and if you experience it, just like the food, if you never eat it and taste it, you can analyze the food, all kind of things, and then wonder how to get this food. But once you taste it and see it, experience it yourself, and what Jesus Christ can establish the love, the peace, and joy in your heart. Oh, that's better than everything you have imagined. So once you experience, you know that it's true, and so that's why we are so confirmed that we know God is there, and He revealed to us through the Bible, but in reality also in our heart to help us to live a meaningful life and then share His love and the truth to others, so that more people can come into the kingdom of God. So again, everyone have to feel, but if you really spend time to dig into the truth and experience yourself then by opening the heart, then you find that that's the best thing you can find. Just like me and John always share with us that we believe once become a believer, even not at the too young, but at his adult age, he turned his heart, and then it's amazing. We can all witness that Christ is so real in our heart and in our life. And most important, bring us hope, because human life have one day to end physical this earth. We don't know when, whether you're young or old. Nobody can for sure tomorrow or 1 month later. Nobody knows. We still exist in this time and space, but we have a hope.
Okay.
Our soul, our spirit will be
Alan?
still there. Yes. Can you hear me? Yes.
I'm going to pivot away from you for a minute because I want to give Andy or Randy a chance. Hey, Randy,
Sure.
are you there? Just so everybody knows, Alan is going to be on again, but he will have the whole hour to talk because it's very fascinating what he's got to talk about. So I'd like to, Randy.
Mr. Randy. You can see that he's not here. That's why.
Oh, what happened to him?
Here, I mean, Mr. Allen to talk. You know, you said that you could ask Mr. Allen and then come back to Mr. Randy. Mr. Randy disappeared and he actually left the room and didn't come back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get hold of him and we'll get him in here. Let's bring Alan back in here again then, so we have time to talk about this. You have a chapter, it's your first one, and it's called Unseen Things. What did you mean by that? What are unseen things that you're referring to?
Yes. Just like most important is I refer Romans in the Bible, New Testament, Romans chapter 1 and 20. So I resonate with this Bible verse a lot. So when let me read it real quick. Just this Bible verse. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, His eternal power and divine have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. So, through all these things that from the physics, from the science, from the universe and the earth, and was made so beautifully. And God's invisible quality, so even is unseen directly, but through His created, like what I mentioned is the physics law and the law of gravity, and the physicists still try to understand where this physics law originally come from. I mean, we can understand, study it, but so many things was fine-tuned to make things happen, a particular life on Earth to be possible. So what I'm saying, unseen thing is that behind the things, even we don't see it, but the operation and like the atom. If you study the atom, why there is even inside the nuclear, there is for us human beings to exist, we need a healthy atom, and healthy atom composed more than two protons, and two protons is both are positive. You know, when you have two positive charges, you try to repel it. So in physics, I mean, if they are opposite each other, how can they form an atom? Well, that's why the physics study and then find out there's a strong force that within the uncertainty principle, they are able to form it, the force just enough. They can exist inside the nucleus. Well, we don't see it, we understand it, but it is there. It not happened by chance. I mean, it just God created, and even we don't see it. There's so many things. This is just one example. There's so many examples that even we don't see it, but it was mystery decided with wisdom, so that we can learning. The more to learn it, the better we know God is true. Or just like the song chapter 19, 1 say, the heaven declare the glory of God, and the sky proclaim His handiwork. It is amazing when you look at the sky and light, the star, all these things. Even during the day, you can see the sunrise, sunset. All this is you can see it, but what's behind the law, the God's word is sustaining it. That is the most amazing. That's draw me to write this book and share to others.
Yeah, I got another question here for you, Alan, or Alan.
Yes.
The second chapter is the law of physics. And this is a question I've always had in my mind. Is the law of physics the same all the way to the universe itself, from one end of the universe to the other, as far as we tell at this? Are the laws of physics the same?
Yes, because as we observe through telescope, and then like last year July, there is the James Watt space telescope can see very far and better, and all the data collected that confirm that the law of physics, whether it's within our galaxy, outside a galaxy, on the almost very far away, near the beginning of the time, where the Big Bang starts, the law of physics is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Then you have one here for the vastness of the universe. Can you explain the vastness of the universe a little bit? The question kind of strange question, but I've heard other people ask this before. Why would God make the universe so huge? Was it a kind of a waste to do all that? Or is there a grand scheme of things when because he made the universe so big? And I heard someone say this, and then maybe you can jump on it, but there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on our planet. But the real kicker that really kind of blew my mind, there is more galaxies in the universe than there are grains of sand, and that goes 10 to the 150th power. It's absolutely staggering how many galaxies there are, much less. So that goes back to that question: why would God make the universe so absolutely huge?
Can we answer
in
this?
your view,
Can we answer this in 5 minutes? Because it's about time to wrap up in 5
Okay,
minutes.
yeah,
So we'll
sure.
be glad
Yeah,
to have you on with no more detail next time.
yeah, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, very good question. So, the more I learn from all this latest study from Dr. Hugh Walsh, is the first CEO of Reason to Believe. Now the current CEO is Buck Ben. So the astronomer, Dr. Walsh, give us some idea through his book, Decide to the Core. And the more I read it, the more I learn to make the healthy eat a lot of pepper, and it takes so much time in order to the early galaxy, gather enough mass, and then when they join it or combine it between enough material to form the black hole. Before the black hole, they explode and then generate a healthy atom through this amazing, fusion of that. So the preparation required did so many years and so large in order to come to this Milky Way and then the solar system. But of course, God have his own way, and he also want to show us human beings the heaven declare the glory of God. And one idea I think is that the universe is expanding, and we are in the right location so that we can, using telescope, to watch how the galaxy over time to declare the glory of God. So it is amazing that we happen to be at the right time, right location in this universe, so that we can observe the universe. And by learning how big is this universe of our human imagination, and the universe is still expanding. We don't know how far it can go, and it just we just have our heart more worship God because our human eye is limited. So, but when we learn it through telescope, using our mentality, just like John have a good. Actually, he used a picture to demonstrate one of the mental kind of mental health to understand how big is this universe. It is just like the size of the quarter of our Milky Way, or let me double check, make sure it's correct. So it is the widest of the universe.
I'm like you, Alan. A lot of people sometimes ask that are not real involved in science, but they say, why do you care about how big the universe is and all the makeup and all the things on how the universe works and individuals all the way from the very largest to the very smallest molecular structure. And I tell people it's a way of worship because I want to find out about this stuff because I'm trying to find out who this intelligent designer is. The person that we say that is God. The intelligent design behind everything, that it was not an accident. Nothing is an accident.
Exactly.
And then we talk about that, and I am blown away. I'm like, who is this intelligent designer? Who is this character behind all of this? And all I can think of at times is this vastness and this individual that made all of this time and space. He made me and you, and he loves us very, very much. And how many people that live on this planet? And how many people have lived here through the centuries? It's just, it blows me away. And that's how, in a way, that's how I worship God, is finding out his characteristics. And when I find out this stuff about him that is never ending, and it just moves on and on and on, it just takes my breath away. And looking at how huge the universe is, it just, especially in the last 50 years, when they bring in all these new telescopes, at one point, even up to 60 years ago, they said there was only a couple thousand stars in the universe. It's just amazing how in that period of time, they went from thousands to trillions and trillions. And I'm like, who could have created this? This is just crazy. And I think back to the book of Job, when all these things are happening to Job. And then it seemed like God lost his patience with him a little bit. And then he said to him, okay, one last thing here. He said to him, where were you when I created all this? You know, we have these questions and we're like, okay, I'm sorry I even said anything here because I have such little knowledge about what's going on. So, Alan, I just welcome you back in here. We'll have a lot of time to talk about different things here, and might even get somebody from RTV to come in and talk here too at some point in time. But thank you today for coming and talking about your book and letting me pick your mind a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Please, in order to pick the next date that you want to be on here, John, will you send him the calendly.com/Jaws coffee chat link?
Okay.
So John, you can email to me. Yeah, so I can do that in, like, for example, in 2 weeks or 1 month today or from today. So whatever is the opening. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
you can pick any Monday at 4 p.m. Central to be on this specific one, or find any others interesting. But if John will please text you that link,
okay.
you to pick so many sessions you want to put your schedule for each month, like what John was talking about. You want to be on it once a month or however often, but to pick what are your days.
Okay, yeah, good suggestion. So send me the link, and also there is a good discussion. And if next time I present, do you have like some kind of, for example, I use a PowerPoint. Will that this StreamYard let me to present with some kind of slide?
Yes, sir. It's much like Zoom. If you look at the bottom of your StreamYard, you probably see stop cam, seems present. Present is what you do when you have it open, the spreadsheet or whatever you want to share.
I didn't see the present yet, but maybe next time I can
It looks like a computer with a plus sign in it.
Oh, I'm using my cell phone. Okay, so computer.
Okay. So you probably want to get on get on here via a computer of some kind,
Sure.
Apple or Microsoft, but just a computer.
Yeah, next time I will do that. Yep,
Okay.
this is the introduction.
Well, thank you. Emily, do we have any announcements?
I don't see Emily.
Just a reminder about the International Latin Day of Happiness on March 17th. Tickets are $40 right now. We are looking to break the Guinness Book of World Records, the most people speed networking at one time. The event lasts from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific with networking, speakers, giveaways, that kind of thing. And also, March 18th and 19th is the Mutually Network Summit. So connect with us on either of those things if you are interested. Back to you, Jen.
How did Emily get that how did she get that blue thing on there? Because I wanted to do
I
that
did
for
it.
Alan.
I did it.
Oh, you did.
That's what I was saying. Let's go
Okay.
to the right where it says banners to create it. Like I just typed it up. That's all I did to create it was type it. During text only.
I get it. Okay.
Very good.
Got it.
So that's why I wanted you to do that for Mr. Allen's book and website. But anyways, we'll do that
Yeah,
next time.
we'll do it next time.
I put it in the private chat, by the way.
Okay. Well, we have to end in the next few minutes. So please send that to me in our next podcast with Mr. Allen. And bring it back to our announcements. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. If you would like to find out more about Giles Coffee Chat or to see opportunities to join us, join our team as possibly a virtual assistant or a digital virtual assistant, social media marketer, or press release / public relations person, please go to our Calendly link and schedule with us at calendly.com / Jen's Books and More. That's CALENDLY.com / JENNS Books and More. And if you're interested in being on our podcast, finding more about it, or seeing other podcasts that we do, even our website for services, so forth, you can go to our link tree link, which is linktr.ee /JAWS coffee chat. linktr.ee /JAWS coffee chat. Giles Coffee Chat.
You can also contact
That's
us at
easy.
jawscoffeechat.com. That's jawscoffeechat.com. jawscoffeechat@gmail.com. Oh, jeez. You can also contact us at jawscoffeechat@gmail.com.
Definitely. Thank you, Emily. And if you'd like to check out being a part of a ministry for women, for those of us that are at least females, you can go to www.awexsite.com. That's www.awexsite.com. And that's where you'll find a Bible study, where you'll even find me, as well as Christian-based networking and so forth. And wherever you found us on this show or this podcast, please be sure to subscribe to Giles Coffee Chat podcast, Giles Coffee Chat shows, social media, wherever else you found us. And if you want to learn more or see more podcasts and see books and other things we offer, please go to www.jensbooksandmore.com. That's JENNS booksandmore.com. Back to you, Emily.
Just wanted to encourage everybody to check out the Jazz Coffee Chat social media, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, and so on. Yeah, special thanks to Marcus Hart, Jay Stoyan, and Zach Clinton for allowing us to have this on their platform. And on behalf of Jen, John, Kurt, and the rest of the World of Ability Podcast Network, is wish you a safe and productive week, and to stay happy.
Very good.
Recording stopped.
Okay, just wanted to tell everybody.
Guys,
thank
John,
you
we're
for
still
coming
live.
by, and,
We are still live, John.
come back.
Just for another minute.
I'm sorry?
We are still live. Just give me a minute here.